So what does a hair care regimen of a man look like? So what we do is we divide this regimen into a 4-step treatment. So these 4 steps are basically cleaning the hair, nourishing the hair, growing the hair and protecting the hair. So these are the 4 steps in which the basis of this regimen is based. So let's come to the first step called as cleaning. Okay. So as a initial step, this is the most important step because we are going outside, we are exposed to dust, pollution, which leaves a residue of dust, pollutants, greasiness, the oil secretions, all are get imbibed on your scalp, and this may result in microinflammation and also causes dandruff formation. So cleaning your hair with a good shampoo is the first step of this regimen. So what you should look for the shampoo is basically you should see for something which are sulfates and paraben free shampoos. Because if you use the right shampoo, they'll tend to moisturize your hair and they will not leave the residue and not lead to hair frizziness. So this is the role of the shampoo. Now comes the second part, which is nourishing your hair. See, your hair is an ever-growing organ. For example, your body doesn't grow, only your hair grows. It keeps on growing, even your nails grow. So hair requires a continuous source of proteins, vitamins, minerals, ions, vitamin D3. So this should be well maintained in your diet. So providing the right nutrition to this hair will give them a nourishment. So what should you look for in the diet? So you need to include something like protein-rich foods. So example, you can have dals, pulses, legumes. You can have paneer, milk. Eggs are a great source. Meat if you're a non-vegetarian. So comes the iron. Iron is rich in beetroot, carrot, dates and pomegranates. Then something like antioxidants. They are great in your dry fruits, almonds, nuts, cashew nuts, walnuts. These are great sources of antioxidants. Apart from that, you can also have berries and grapes. They are also great source of antioxidants. Something like which in vitamins are your fruits. So your apples, your bananas, these are great sources of vitamins and calcium which you can have. So overall, a great diet would be a combination of all these things. You can also include vitamin A rich food, biotin rich foods. The biotin rich foods are basically eggs, mushrooms. They are very good source of biotin. So these are the second step. Now we come to the third step, which is the actual step of growing your hair or making your hair thicker. So what does this step include? So these steps are basically 3 important things. One is like an hair oil. So hair oils are something which are applied on your scalp. What do? They strengthen your hair, because when they are applied on your hair, they will form a protective layer and a barrier against the external atmosphere, and this will lead to a stronger hair. So what you can look for the contents in the oils are something like amla, brigarage oil, jojoba oil. So these are something argan oil and a coconut oil. So these are some oil ingredients which you can use. Generally, recommendation for oil is basically once or twice a week. You can do it either overnight or even 1 hour before bathing is decent enough. Now we are dealing with the medical aspects of the growing phase, where we can use certain things like something called as a derma roller. So basically this is an instrument which contains a lot of needles. So when they are used on your scalp, it generates micro-inflammation. When these micro-inflammation is generated, your body will start responding to that inflammation and generate new collagen, and new growth factors will be generated which will help in growing the hair. Apart from that, the gold standard or the FDA approved molecules for hair growing are minoxidil. So what is basically minoxidil? Is a lotion which is a vasodilator. So when applied topically on your scalp, it will lead to opening of the channels, increasing the blood supply, increasing the oxygen supply to your hair, and this will lead to a growing and a thicker volume of your hair. Another medical or FDA approved drug is called as finasteride. Finasteride is basically a testosterone or a DHT blocker. Why do you thin your hair? Is because of the hormone called as DHT, which makes your hair thinner. So finasteride blocks this conversion from testosterone to dihydrotestosterone and makes your hair grow thicker, and also prevents further loss of hair. Now we come to the fourth aspect of the health care regimen, which is the hair care regimen, which is called as the protection. So as we know that like your hair is continuously exposed to the environment. When you are going outside, your body is at least covering your skin or some aspect. but your hair is always open to the exterior. So what we need to do is protect them. So what is the protection of a hair? So like we use a sunscreen to protect our skin, or we use pesticide which used to protect the crops. Similarly, there are hair serums and hair conditioners which can be used to protect your hair from the external environment. So first we come to the hair conditioners. So basically hair conditioner is something which is applied after a shampoo. So the conditioner, you should look for certain ingredients in the conditioner, something like keratin. So keratin was basically a hair binding agent. So the keratin, when it's applied, it will bind to your hair and it will absorb more moisture. When it absorbs more moisture, it will give more sort of a water to your hair and it stays hydrated. Something like shea butter, which are very great sources of essential acids, because your hair requires these essential acids. So when shea butter something like is applied, will lead to a great and a shinier hair.